If you're looking to buy your first EV or even your second and third EV, there's now more choice than ever out there. So it can be quite daunting when you're thinking about making a selection of the car you want. And I don't know about you, but I love looking for a new car, but I hate that process of having to traipse around all the different showrooms, particularly when they're all quite a distance apart. So is there a better way to do this? Well, let's get into the video and find out. If, like me, you're looking to get your next electric car, or it could be your first electric car, there is so much choice now than there used to be, and it can be quite daunting to think about going out to all the different showrooms, speaking to salespeople, trying to get test drives. And I always find that I actually compromise because I hate doing that kind of process. I love looking at cars, but I just hate that whole process. And I end up narrowing my search down before I've even looked at different cars, just to avoid having to look at too many cars and then deciding on maybe a couple of cars and perhaps missing out on others that might have been a great car to go out and test drive and see if it's different to what my expectations were. But I often avoid that because of those reasons. So wouldn't it be great if you could just go to one place and have a look at all the different models that you're thinking about and also test drive any of those that you want to? Well, the fantastic news is I've found a great place in Glasgow called the Arnold Clark Innovation Centre. I found out about this place just by accident, actually, because I was talking to a colleague and they said that they were going into the Innovation Centre to have a look at some EVs, and I said, what's that then? What's that about? Anyway, they gave me a brief explanation and I looked online, and if you look it up, what it says, the Arnold Clark Innovation Centre, whether you want more information about new car technology or you're thinking of making a switch to electric, we're here to help. You can book an appointment. You don't have to book an appointment, by the way. You can just go in off the street. The only thing is, of course, if it's busy and you haven't booked an appointment to do a test drive, then you may have to wait a bit. But that's what we did, by the way, went in there. And then it says what to expect from interactive vehicle guides to safe, tailored test drives in the latest alternative fuel cars. Everything you need to get started is here. And I thought, that sounds really, really interesting. Now, I have to say my expectation was there probably isn't going to be that many models there. Maybe there'll just be a few of the popular models you can have a look at and test drive. When I got to the centre, I was really delighted to see they had a really fantastic range of cars. I'm not sure they had every car available, but they certainly had nearly everything that I wanted to look at. So they had the Audis, the e-trons 40 and 50, the BMW iX3, the BMW i4. They had the Ford Mustang Mach-E, the Volvo C40, the VW ID3, 4 and 5, the Kia EV6, all the MGs, the Hyundai Ioniq 5 as well, and Tesla Model 3 for sure. I'm not sure if they had a Tesla Model Y. I didn't see one, but it could be that it was out for a test drive. So they had a fantastic range of EVs to look at. But not only that, they've got people there that you can interact with, and they were very knowledgeable and they knew a lot about the individual cars as well. But you could also book a test drive in any of the cars you wanted to. I could have stayed there all day, really. We didn't have that much time. So we did arrange a couple of test drives, and in the end we had to go because we wanted to get back. And I like to get into every car and have a look at all the different functions and the comfort level of the car. Seats are really important to me, and also the boot size is really important. If you've got dogs like we have, the boot is really, really key for us. So are we going to be able to fit the dogs in there? Does it have a flat load surface? All those sort of things that you check in a car. But this allowed us to look along every single car we wanted to have a look at, all in one place. So really fantastic. The staff were really knowledgeable, really helpful, and it wasn't a sales environment because clearly they're there to educate you on electric vehicles rather than to sell you in electric vehicles. It was very much an experience of gaining knowledge, giving you information about cars. They were very knowledgeable about the individual cars. When we went out for a test drive in a couple of the cars, they could describe exactly how they worked, how they started up, all the little bits you needed to know, the nuances between the different models. All you have to do is do that check with the DVLA to get a special code, just like you do when you're doing or hiring a car, and they'll do that there for you as well. And then you can take any car out you want to take out. And in fact, they let us go out on our own to drive the car, which is much my preference rather than having somebody with me. But if you do want somebody with you, then you can book to have somebody to assist you and go out with you in a car. So really, really great service. By the way, I've got no affiliation with Arnold Clark. This is just my own experiences, and I'd certainly recommend going there. It made a massive difference to me. Just being able to go to one place, look at all the different car types, narrow my search down really quickly, and then decide which ones I wanted to take out and test drive. So really fantastic place to go. Check it out if you live in Glasgow or actually live in Scotland somewhere. I think it's worth the trip. And if you're in England, they've got one in Stafford, which I think is fairly central to most people. Could be a trip for a few, but I certainly think it's worth going if you just want to narrow down that whole process of looking for your electric vehicle, your first electric vehicle, or even your next electric vehicle. So I hope that was helpful. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.